All right, ladies and gentlemen, part two for the X-Men 97 update is here. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it seems like it is exactly what we expected it to be. It's only going to be one uniform, no new characters, and it's only going to be the boy Bishop. And it kind of makes me sad because I don't think they went far enough. I don't think he's gonna shake up the meta like myself and many others were hoping for. But we can keep hoping for something else in the future, or maybe some surprises when the patch notes like actually get applied to the game. I don't know. I don't know. Hope just leads to disappointment at this point. We're hoping that for the mid-month we would see Forge, Morph, surprise uniform for Jean Grey, I don't know, Rogue, Gambit, Magneto, Madeline, Professor X, something, right? Something. But unfortunately, nah, it's exactly what we saw day one, that we're getting a new uniform for Bishop. And I'm happy that they gave the boy iframe ignore. He has a 30% heal, he has debuff removal, and he gets to keep the increased basic damage by 100% for 2 attack. That is very, very good. This being on his counter attack skill is amazing. He gets honestly, he gets incapacitation. But if y'all know how PvP works, you know there is one thing that is missing from here that makes it so that even though he has iframe ignore, the skill is still not strong enough. You know what it is, right? Look at this kid. Look at this kid. Look at this kid. Look at this kid. You might be new to the game and you're saying like, I don't see it. Penetration, penetration, penetration. Okay? Every character in the game that you use for PvP, they have immunity, like damage immunity, they have invincibility, and a lot of times when they are in iframe, they have their immunity active as well. So even though he can now hit them when they're in iframes for the counter attack, if they have damage immunity or invincibility up, he's not going to be doing any damage. And this is something that they did previously. They did this to Apocalypse when they gave Apocalypse iframe ignore and no damage. I'm sorry, no penetration. Right? He wasn't doing anything in PvP, and they actually had to go back and buff him later. But that was not because they wanted to. That was because we complained about it. Like, so we might have to do the same thing here. But Apocalypse is a very expensive character to build, a very popular character, and we had to fight tooth and nail to get the buff for him. So I don't know if that's gonna be something that we can, try to force for my boy Bishop. It's sad, bro, because realistically, if you're doing a one uniform, one character tier 4 uniform update, you think you would want to make it like a banger, right? Especially it's his first uniform, so it's definitely going to be a big upgrade for him, right? He has damage accumulation, but like really, bro, really, they could have gone further, right? The cooldown on the skill is a little bit too high for PvP stuff. You want this to be closer to 10 seconds, right? 15 seconds, a little bit too high. But without penetration, this means that he is kind of relegated to Alliance Conquest, right? That's pretty much it. And it kind of means that you have to use him with a CTP of Destruction, and Destruction is not the best PvP CTP these days. You want to be using something like, depending on the character, you want to be using Authority, you want to be using Conquest, you want to possibly using Greed, like going all the way back to use Destruction. That doesn't give you a lot of protection, even though he does have a good amount of protection in this kit, right? Basic damage, like he reduces energy damage by 50%. He absorbs some of the energy damage and increases his all attack up to 40%. That's very good. He has 30% HP. It's very, very good, right? But without penetration, he's gonna live a decent amount of time only to die because he can't kill anyone. And if he's up against somebody that does physical damage, like the Nulls, or Wolverine, or any of those physical monsters, the 50% energy damage reduction isn't doing anything for him, right? And he doesn't have any kind of physical protection. So it is unfortunate. Super armor is nice. Basic damage, sorry, all defense is nice, right? Paralysis and stun, nice. But like, yeah, it is quite unfortunate for the boy. He does have 6 seconds of invincibility in the kit, and all attack buff here. 50% is nice with crit rate. Oh boy, his tier 4 buff is good. This is gonna give him like a full heal, and on top of that he gets, I think this is the Luna Snow buff for his tier 4. So very, very strong tier 4. I was thinking that he might be a day 1 tier 4 like for me, but I'm looking at it now, and I think I might go with somebody else. Real talk, I might go with I was thinking about doing one of two options, right? I was thinking about doing either Mystique or Wong, right? Looking at building up my support characters instead of just skipping over tier 4s when they do a tier 4 that I don't like. I figure I'll just build up a support to make it so that I can push further, higher, faster. Shout out to Captain Marvel in World Boss Legend Plus. So as you can see, with the uniform collection now being here, this is basically confirmation that they're not releasing any more X-Men 97 characters, at least as part of this collection, as part of this update. We could and probably will see another X-Men 97 update, maybe by the end of the year, but it might be like a season 2 thing. Like they might be, you know, done with these guys, which I think is unfortunate because there's more money to be made here. There's more uniforms that they could sell from season 1, but I don't know, bro. I really don't know what to tell y'all, man. Anyways, they're bringing back some of the hot deals from previous updates and whatever, bro. I don't know. And they're also buffing the Queen of Limbo effect for Madeline Pryor. Instead of giving physical attack, which never made sense, it's now giving energy attack. It's 5.3%. It's basically when you have a team up with Madeline Pryor, which it didn't make sense for her team up to be given physical attack when the character is energy based, basically meaning she couldn't benefit from her team up bonus. You know what I'm saying? That was dumb. Like, truthfully speaking, they could have changed it to all attack, but energy attack, at least Madeline can benefit from that. In addition to that, we got some new events coming. The big one that most of you guys should be happy with is the fact that all the uniforms are going to be on sale for 40% off, which is huge since they delayed handing out the crystals. So a lot of y'all probably didn't have enough crystals to buy the uniform for Storm and Cyclops. Now you can get them for 40% off. That's amazing. Besides that, we got a growth event for Bishop. There's going to be a rank battle for Bishop, obviously giving away up to 250, maybe 500 crystals, depending on if you're going to invest enough in him. I don't see a lot of people tier 4 him just because he doesn't have penetration, but they could. You know, people could do it if they want to. There's also going to be Odin Blessing Special Pass. I probably won't buy this. I don't know. I'll get the free Odin's Blessings. There's a couple in here. There's 2, and there's some Eternal Flame, which is okay. Then we got the War Boss mission here, so you can buy some additional tier 4 materials. I usually don't buy this, but I know the Mega Whales, they do their thing. They buy that. Not for me. 7-day check-in event. Got some free essence, free Titan component packs. Then we got a new crafting event. Obviously, this is not as good as the Brilliant CTP, but hey, you can get some sword materials and whatnot. If it was giving you a fully crafted sword instead of a Rune of Return, I would be super excited because I have 4 out of 6 swords, and I really want to be done with, you know, crafting up these swords and whatnot. And it's kind of a pain, but it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is all that we are getting for the final leg of X-Men 97. So now when you look at it, you know, in totality, we got a good, borderline great new character in Sunspot. You know, good DPS support character. Then we got Cyclops, absolutely fantastic. Storm, absolutely fantastic. Beast, decent, and Bishop, decent at best. You know what I'm saying? Looking at the kit, maybe he just hits really hard, but even then, without penetration, I don't know, man. I don't know, right? So overall, it's a good update. It's a good update. It would have been, I would say, a great update if Bishop was better, right? This would have been the best uniform. Like in terms of uniform, this would have been the best update of the year so far. Yeah, that's just my take on it. But these two, Beast and Bishop, BB, you know, they're bringing down the level for this update. But it is what it is. Hopefully, at least the next update looks something similar to this. You know, 3 out of 5 ain't too bad. Looking at how bad the uniforms have been as of late. But catch you guys in the next one. Peace.